This is just one of the failures of the editing and book process. There's no chance that my version is 100% reality and accurate. The non-Purple Heart. I couldn't remember which award I got. So a podcast dropped right before Thanksgiving.
And so here he is, completely bone dry on everything except his sniper weapon, apparently. And he's going to try to kill a Taliban guy to take his AK and use it for like battlefield recovery. Again, this isn't the movies. This isn't the movies. Quit exaggerating everything that you did. And Tim, you don't think I can't call someone and find out if you were the distinguished honor grad of your class? Of course I can.
All right, you guys have probably seen all the drama. I watched it when it came out. Brett here, don't remember the other fella's name. They go after dudes pretty hard. Brett says he has receipts. I don't know. I saw Tim Kennedy's response. I'm sitting here like the Real Housewives of SF YouTube trying to keep up. I didn't jump on it. I saw the night it came out. Thought about jumping on it. For the grift, right? Make the money. Although I'm demonetized. Let's look at Tim's response. It's interesting. You be the judge. I want to hear your comments. I had a poll here, and I'll shut up. Is Tim's stuff true? Is it false? Or the dude's jealous? I want to hear your take.
They accused me of stolen valor. They did this to keep veterans accountable, and to like hold a standard. Right after that, they said that they dropped one of their ads for one of their 6 major sponsors. And as it played, wow, I'm sure it has nothing to do with why they're targeting me. But on my episode, their numbers were way up. Weird, probably a coincidence that their biggest episodes involved Marcus Luttrell, Rob O'Neill, Jocko Willink, and now me. I think it's totally hypocritical and it's intellectually dishonest to be pretending that you're on the moral high ground and then misrepresenting facts, lying, paraphrasing, and then taking things out of context.
All right. So again, I saw the episode. I saw him reading from the book. I saw Brett said he talked to dudes that he's going to bring on. Let's just go with that. Hear me out. I got a nuanced take on this. I don't think people read, the SF bros, read Tim's book. I do think they saw him on Sean Riley's clips, on Rogan, or wherever else he was at, right? I think they saw that. I saw that. And I said, wow, 25 grenades, just throwing them into building windows. Seems pretty, out there. But I didn't have to believe it. I just thought everybody knew it's a book. It's like a movie. It's not going to come out the way reality. I just assumed everybody knew, including SF YouTube. But these guys got into the weeds, and boy, oh boy. I'll link to the Antihero Podcast. You guys check it. You be the judge. I want to get your opinion here. I got an opinion.
They do financially better when they go after people with big followings. And thank God that, we have purists like them among us. So before I address the allegations against me, I want you to know that I knew this podcast was coming out. How? Because they contacted every single one of my teammates to try to get dirt on me. Almost everyone told them the same thing, that they weren't interested, and then they called me and let me know.
Now, Brett says he's got receipts. He talked to a lot of guys. Tim's saying most of them didn't want to talk to him. We're going to find out here. I don't think the Antihero guys are letting this go. If you're going to talk about somebody with a body of work like Tim Kennedy, Marcus Luttrell, there's enough information out there where you can speak to it. I presented Marcus Luttrell's comments from his own podcast because I didn't know. I saw the book, the movie. I said, wow, he wrote it when he got out of the Navy. I had no idea that Special Warfare kind of crafted it. That's what he said, right? So I was, as a consumer of this stuff, I go, I'm not dunking on the man. I said that in my own video. So here, take a gander.
I've been on a team with, they talk to them. And that's totally their right. I'm not mad whatsoever. They should tell their stories, just like I told mine. Okay. But this idea that there is some universal truth that is, the opposite of what I said is absolutely absurd. I'm an Iraq and Afghanistan combat veteran, and I didn't see anyone from the podcast in any of those places.
Hold on a sec. Pretty sure Brett, don't remember the other fellow's name, was in Iraq and Afghanistan, right? Other fellow who's a police officer, and I understand he was in the Army too. But, I don't know. It's a little confusing. I'm not trying to be picky here, but I think they fought in that same battle space, right?
Stories are never the same. And ask anyone who's been to combat or review board what happens when you interview 5 guys in the same battle. You're going to get 5 different stories. And if there's a feed running, you get a 6th. At the beginning of my book, I literally outlined that fact as clearly as I could. There's no chance that my version is 100% reality and accurate, but that is what I remember. It's reality to the best of my recollection. And that was supported with my journals and supporting interviews of other people throughout the whole entire book. With that being said, I want to address a few things.
Okay.
Did I fail sniper school? And this is the intellectually dishonest thing where, and super hypocritical because they're taking things out of context. Yes, I did fail sniper school.
Okay, that's all they said, right? That he failed the first time and he passed it the second time. You just pass on that. So yeah, I failed the first time. He's got a reason for it. We'll get to it. I'm not going to play the whole thing. I'll link to it. But they said he failed the first time. Is it nitpicky? He's a sniper. So he failed it 20 times. He's a sniper, right? I don't know that's a point I talk about, but I'm not an SF bro.
You could say that. What happened is, when I got my sniper school date, it was going to be 10 days before my own wedding. So I asked Sergeant Major Fernandez, Conrad Fernandez,
change your wedding,
if I could go to a different class. Man, and he gave me a tough pill to swallow. He says, yeah, man, but what you have to do is you have to show up on day one, because if you no-show, we will lose our slot to a future course.
Okay.
And show up and you're going to have to fail. So I went 0 for 25 for the Special Forces Sniper School shoot-in. And then I went to the very next class and graduated.
Okay.
That's what happened. For Ranger School, man, that was 20 years ago. And this is just one of the failures of the editing and book process is I knew I was one of the honor graduates. I didn't know what award I got. And
fellas, tell me how this works. Is there more than one honor grad? Like at Paris Island, there's an honor grad of the company, right? I don't know. Is there more than one? This is nitpicky shit, isn't it? But if you said I'm the honor grad, I think you'd have like a little piece of paper or something. He's saying it's part of the editing process, but they have to ask him, right? I don't know why you put it. It doesn't matter. Again, the dude's got a fantastic resume doing his work. People like him. People get benefit. I've been reading the comments and all these videos that folks have done, and half the comments I asked here, people loved him. They think he's a net positive. They expect the book, I believe. A lot of people think, it's a book, right? Whatever. But SF YouTube, no.
Nick, I, and the editor, complete failure and oversight. As an honor graduate,
right.
Of me, S.E.R.E, getting the Tomahawk and getting the award with my team sergeant and my team leader, Ed Wings and Mike Gomez. Love you guys.
I'm still confused. Was he the honor graduate or not? I understood he was not. That's what they said. He's saying as the honor graduate, one of the honor, again, nitpicky. Why don't you just pass on that? I think Tim's best play is to do nothing. He's got the brand. People talk about it, goes away in a month. Nobody really gives a shit. At the end of the day, why do I say that? Look at the comment sections of Tim's Instagram, which he's huge on. 60% love Tim, 70%. As people saw the Antihero podcast and go, well, Tim, you should address this shit.
20 years removed, being a graduate, and then immediately going on another trip, I couldn't remember which award I got.
Okay.
So complete mistake on that part. The non-Purple Heart. First of all, it's insane that you're using like a 2011 DD-214 as your document of proof. It's 13 years old now.
But that's when he would have got the Purple Heart, right? Now, I don't know if he ever said he got the Purple Heart. He alluded to the fact he was injured. He's going to go through it. And those fellows were saying, hey, if he was injured, he would have got a Purple Heart. That's just the way it works. Just hold on.
A lot of things have changed in the career since then.
Right.
But one of the things that wasn't on that DD-214 is a Purple Heart.
Right.
I was injured while I was in combat, and you can watch. You can go back to fights in 2003, 4, 5, and 6, and you're going to see my neck and my back one way, and then from 2007, 8, 9, until today, you'll be like, whoa, he looks significantly different. And you're going to notice a bunch of brown marks on my shoulder and my neck. What I didn't have is a chain of command, a direct chain of command. I was not on an ODA when I went to Afghanistan in 2008. I didn't have a team leader. I didn't have a team sergeant. I didn't have anyone putting me in for orders. When I came out of the Urizgan Valley after those ambushes, and then we made it back out of Firebase Anaconda by the grace of God and by the heroes to my left and to my right, like they're 100% the heroes in all of this. There's no one. I just wanted to stay in the fight. There was no one to put me in for any awards. There was no one there to do anything. I was a coalition asset traveling with a NATO allied partner in and out of that place.
Right.
When I retire, when I'm no longer useful in the military, when I don't get to wear the uniform and the flag, which is like the greatest honor of my life, have the opportunity to be next to the men and women, the best and the brightest in this country. When that day comes, and I'm sure I'm rounding the bend on it, I'll fix all that. I've never been the great paperwork guy, the great admin guy. I've definitely never been the guy that's going to walk into the med shed.
All right, so he doesn't have a Purple Heart. He said he was pretty substantial injuries, right? If you can see scarring, neck, back. Fill me in, guys. In this time frame, if he had all these wounds, wouldn't the medic be, okay, he's injured, combat? Wouldn't be like you had to ask for it, I wouldn't think. I don't know if he ever said he had a Purple Heart. He said he was injured. I guess it could it happen? You tell me. You fill me in here. I got my thoughts. Let me land the plane on this. The part where he talked about his ground force commander, company commander, I'll call him. He just gave the guy shit, called him a pussy, all that. That seemed like a reach to me. But it seemed like poetic license, a tad. He was going to throw hands with him because the guy didn't have the stones to call in fire mission, something along those lines. It seemed like a reach. It seemed like a Vietnam movie. Title of the book was Scars and Stripes. Guess it was a Vietnam POW book. They brought that up. I don't know, lots of book names are the same. Does that really matter? A lot of parts of this. It's like when people bring up Sean Ryan. He comes out, Megyn Kelly, and said he was involved with drugs. You saw that clip. People say, oh, he's a net positive, bro. And Sean Ryan, I like his podcast. He's a net positive. So question for you, why I bring that up? Is Tim still just a net positive, a net good? Tim saying that these guys, the Antihero Podcast, Valhalla, a bunch of dudes, are making money off Tim's name. Let's get down to the weeds here. I know how YouTube money works. I'm demonetized, but I can tell you. On a million view video, maybe you make $3,000. Okay, we're not talking huge money. The Tim Kennedy makes big money on his name because UFC guy, positive, sheepdog response, he's involved in all of it. And if I do a video about Joe Smith talking about his combat time, I didn't, but let's say they did. Joe Smith, nobody. Of course no one's going to care. There's some reporting. If Tim's got a good case, you guys watch the whole thing, he's not addressing a lot of issues they think are substantial. Who's they? The Antihero and all the folks involved in this. I don't know. What do you think? Is it just there's no war, guys are fighting with each other? Is it 2024, like Jake Swig said, hey, all this stuff's going to come out. People are going to nitpick everything you say. That's just it. Whether you're a politician, an athlete, an actor, Tim's big time, right? Huge. Like Marcus Trell's big time. So years of footage, you're going to go, that doesn't agree with that. And it could have been you misspoke, maybe too much to drink, whatever your thing is. It's interesting, isn't it? You tell me what to think in the comments. I think this has been out, and the Antihero guys had enough balls to bring it up. They said, hey, Tim Kennedy is full of shit. That's what they said. He's stolen valor is what they said, right? That's what those guys said specifically. Nobody else would touch this. Period. End of story. Because they don't want the backlash. Those guys had the balls to fuck with it. Now, are they right? You tell me as a consumer of this stuff. You watch it. I think they got a right to say what they want, but are they in the right here? Are they going to keep going? I think they're going. I don't think they're stopping. Wow. I'm kind of at a loss for words because I'm curious where this is going to go. I think the comment sections, you guys watch this stuff are saying, who gives a shit? Move on. There's some dudes that say, hey, this guy's stolen valor. He's a scumbag. He made money off it. He's leveraging it. He said, though, at the beginning of the book, I don't remember everything, and this, that, and the other. I'm rambling, I know. Boy, oh boy. Tell me what you think. I'll link to Antihero, Valhalla Podcast, of course, Tim's stuff. You guys be the judge. Again, it's vet drama. People are fighting with each other, but this is a big enough deal. You got Don Shipley goes after civilians with fake Navy SEAL shit all the time. I watched Don. Before I ever did this, I watched Don. I thought it was funny. I think the guy's funny. But if you go after Tim and you say, hey, some of his stuff's bullshit, that's what they said, Brett, the ex-Delta guy, then you can't do it. It's a weird thing. I'm trying to wrap my arms around it. I'll shut up. Thank you.